So Jivago 24K was actually the first fragrance to feature 24K gold flakes within the fragrance, which is awesome. So let's go to review this classic now. Hey, what's going on guys? Hunter here and welcome back to my channel. And if you are new, what I do is I make fragrance related content. So if you love fragrances, go ahead and hit that subscribe button down below. And also be sure to follow my fragrance Instagram page where I've been posting daily fragrance content. So check that out. But today is all about the classic men's fragrance 24K by Jivago. And of course it's named that because if you look in the bottle, you see 24K gold flakes floating around in there, which is just lovely. I know a bunch of companies do that now. Well, maybe not a bunch, but there are some. But apparently this was the first brand to do that and is the only fragrance I have in my collection that actually has the 24K gold flakes in it. So that actually looks cool, especially on your shelf. It just stands out a lot. And it does give it more of that special kind of luxurious touch and seems like you have something special in your hands. So let's go over some information about 24K. Now, this fragrance was launched in 1994, so it has been around for quite a long time now. It's actually older than me as well. So yeah, it's been around for almost 30 years now at the time of this recording. So it is a classic. Now, this wasn't the first fragrance from Jivago. They actually have a 24K, which is for women, which is, I guess, their classic. And then they came out for this men launch. And I believe this is the only masculine fragrance that they make as well. Now, I did look up the perfumer, but I could not find any information about who was the nose behind 24K. So if anyone knows watching this, leave that link down below. So the retail for 24K is actually $150 for the 100 ml bottle, as you see in hand on their website. And I also do want to shout out Jivago because they reached out to me and they actually asked me which fragrance I would want to review from them. And of course, I had to pick the only masculine one as well. So shout out to those guys. I will leave their link down below in the description. So go ahead, check them out if you're either looking for 24K for men or any of the 24K and their flankers for women as well. So with all the information out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the packaging and presentation for 24K. All right, looking at this awesome classic looking box with the green and silver touches with the horses right here. Of course, it says Jivago 24K, Beverly Hills, Paris. I think that's where the house is from. The unforgettable golden fragrance, attractive masculine scent, and then infused with a couple of the notes right there. This is an eau de toilette concentration for men, and it says long-lasting natural spray. Of course, the 100 ml. Then on the back, you just have some of your kind of quotes and stuff like that, and a signature, and some of your ingredients. Then on the bottom, you do have your batch code and barcode to authenticate your product and see when it was actually produced. But all in all, guys, I mean, this box actually does look very luxurious, classic, and masculine. So hats off for the box presentation. Let's look at the bottle now. Okay, so this is where the packaging and presentation absolutely shines, is with this bottle, guys. You see those gold flakes floating around in there, which looks awesome. There's actually so many in there as well. Of course, the same Jivago logo, 24K, Paris, Beverly Hills. On the bottom, you do have an IQ code as well right there with some of your stickers and information. Nothing on the back, but on the top, you do have a bar of gold right there, which is kind of a cool touch. Nothing inside the cap, and then your atomizer. Now, to be honest with you guys, the gold flakes is an awesome touch, but this bottle design is very unique and different, and I'm not really the biggest fan of it. It is a little bit more tacky, but at the end of the day, the bottle design isn't the biggest deal. But yeah, that is the packaging and presentation for 24K gold. In the notes, you get vetiver, cardamom, coriander, and sandalwood. So that is a very simplistic note breakdown, featuring only 4 notes. So let's go to take a look at the atomizer and test out the sprayer here. All right, decent sprayer. It's not pressurized or anything like that. And I do want to warn you guys now, obviously the gold flakes inside the bottle is an awesome touch and attention to detail is top tier and it looks incredible. But in reality, it's not that convenient because when you spray it, sometimes those gold flakes actually come out of the atomizer, like through the tube, and it will get on your shirt or your skin and you'll have like gold shimmer on you. And to be honest with you guys, I'm not the biggest fan of like glitter or shimmer or anything like that. So that is kind of a drawback with this fragrance. Obviously it's cool and all, but not that convenient. So let's go ahead and take a look and see what we get from the opening of 24K. Obviously being a launch from 1994, almost 30 years old now, This is a very smooth, aromatic, masculine, gentlemanly, mature fragrance. That's exactly what this is. It smells of class, like an older gentleman wearing this fragrance. This is very sophisticated, but what I actually get in this, obviously it is very spicy from the coriander and the cardamom. You get no citruses, you get no fruits, nothing like that in this fragrance. It's just spiciness, a little bit earthy and woody as well, especially in the dry down. But that opening, you do get a phenomenal cardamom note. And the coriander, I would honestly say the coriander note is the most present within this fragrance in the composition. Just a burst of coriander on the initial spray. And the coriander is obviously providing the spiciness, but it's also providing the smoothness and sort of like a creaminess and softness that comes with this fragrance as well. So very soft, very smooth, creamy, and spicy is how I would describe 24K. Now, I will have to say 24K is extremely unique, especially when it launched back in 1994. Usually back in those days, you would think it would be like a barbershop fougere, lavender heavy, oak moss heavy, stuff like that, but you get none of those notes in this fragrance. So it does actually stand apart from all the other 90s launches, so that's awesome. But it still does have that gentlemanly vibe. Now, as this fragrance dries down is when you get more of that vetiver and the sandalwood. Now, it is a little bit more earthy and grassy in the dry down. And obviously the sandalwood's also working alongside the coriander that gives it that nice kind of smoothness and creaminess. So those two notes work perfect together. The only thing that really changes is a little bit of an earthy, grassy vetiver in the base of this. And I mean like far in the base. It does take quite some time to get to the base because that top and the mid lasts a long time, guys. So you're gonna be stuck with the spiciness, the softness and smoothness from the cardamom and coriander for most of the fragrance. Now let's talk about who this is actually suited for. Obviously this does lean far on the masculine side of things. At least to me, guys, it just has that old school masculine touch to it without being a fougere barbershop fragrance, which is awesome. But yeah, still masculine. It's very gentlemanly. So it does come across mature. I would say it's best suited for anybody probably 30 and up would actually appreciate this fragrance the most. Anyone below that that's not really into fragrances like you watching or me myself probably, they're not really gonna enjoy this fragrance, especially a teenager is not gonna like this one. Yeah, definitely more suited for a grown man, probably 30 and up. And as far as occasions for this, honestly, I would say it's for more of the formal side of things as well because it just has that classy, sophisticated, old school touch to it, which doesn't really work the best casually. Of course, you can wear a fragrance whenever, but when I picture smelling this fragrance, I picture a suit and tie at a formal event, or if you wear a suit, or you obviously dress up for work, that kind of situation, perfect for 24K. Now, what is versatile about this fragrance is the seasons, guys. You can wear this one in the fall, the winter, the spring, and the summer. You can pretty much wear this all year round. It just works. There's nothing really makes it only for the colder months and nothing really makes it only for the warmer months. It's just a versatile fragrance. Even though it's not citrus heavy, it's not fruity heavy or anything like that, it still does work for the summer and spring because it does come across a little bit airy, kind of herbal and spicy, obviously, and just soft and smooth. So yeah, perfect for all seasons, well, not all occasions, but yeah, all seasons and more formal occasions. So let's touch on the performance of 24K now. So honestly, it did perform a little bit more than I was expecting, obviously being an EDT, which is on the lower side of things when it comes to concentration and perfumery, but also the way it comes across, like I said, very soft, almost airy-like, smooth, creamy, and a little bit spicy. Obviously, looking at the notes as well, none of those notes really perform that good, but for some reason, guys, I got some pretty decent performance out of 24K. I got around like 8 hours of solid longevity from this one where I can still smell it without putting my nose absolutely up to my skin. I was still getting hints of it, but also the projection was very good with this one. I got around 3 hours of very solid projection off of my skin until it settled down a little bit closer to the skin. But of course, usually with EDTs, they do project a little bit more, not all the time, but a lot of times they do project more than like EDPs and extrait de parfums because the alcohol concentration is actually what makes the fragrance push off the skin. And with 24K Gold, it did project very nicely for me. Now, I do want to mention, I don't think this will be like a really crowd-pleasing fragrance, especially nowadays, being in 2022, because it does have that old school 90s kind of feel to it. Even though I really wouldn't say it's the most outdated fragrance, it definitely, you could still wear it nowadays. It doesn't come across absolutely outdated, but it does have that 90s masculine vibe to it. But A lot of people still love that, and they are looking for those kind of fragrances. If that's you, you will absolutely adore 24K. And obviously people will comment on it. If they appreciate more masculine, old school fragrances, then people will also love that fragrance when you wear it around them. But that's pretty much gonna wrap up my review of Jivago's 24K for men. Let me know down below if you've heard of this house, if you ever tried this classic 90s fragrance, or if you're gonna be picking up a bottle and you're interested in it. Let me know down below. I love talking to you guys and hearing your thoughts and stuff like that. But leave a like on the video if you did enjoy it. Subscribe if you guys haven't already. And I'll catch all you guys in the next upload. Take care, everybody.